Aloha. We are now still in Kohala, but at a very, very special place in the Aupuni of Kokoiki at a specific site called Kapa'akai. And the major significance of this site is the place where Kamehameha was born. Kamehameha the Great was born. Now, when he was born can range, depending on what dates you choose, from 1736 to 1758. That's a stretch of 23 years. That's quite different. And I'm not here to argue what exactly the dates were. I sort of lean with my Kohala Kupuna, who choose 1736. Other historians will say, no, one of the signs, the legends, was that there was a white rainbow or something strange happening in the heavens, and people have calculated the date that to be the appearance of Halley's Comet, which was around 1758. But most historians will agree that he was born here. And most historians will agree that, his mother was Kekuapuiwa. But the date is still up for grabs. But no matter what you choose, the place is here. And everyone agree it's here in Kokoiki, here at Kapa'akai. And you might ask, if you look around this area, it's very desolate. Even today, in the year 2007, there's nothing here. There used to be cane fields, and the whole area was surrounded by cane field, except for this particular half-acre site. All of this was surrounded by sugar cane. And it was kept out of sale. The family who sold this, Aupuni, was Keawe Puhi. They had a young son named David Puhi. He was 17 years old, working as a stevedore a few miles away at the Honoipo landing. And he begged his mother not to include this site in the sale because it had the Hanau Pohako Ali, the birthstones of Kamehameha. So they kept this out of the sale. And for many, many years, the kupuna in Kohala, Heloki Mo'okini, and others like David Puhi and Frank Puhi took care of this site. Now, why would a high-born chiefess of Kohala choose this site? Wouldn't there be someplace else? Because it's very desolate. And one reason she's here is version number one. There are several versions of Kamehameha's birth. If you believe that Keoua is his father, then the version is this. They are here. Keoua is a high chief of Alapainui. He's considered like a general in Alapainui's army. And they have gathered here waiting to attack Maui. You can see beyond the clouds, right at the tip, the summit of Haleakala. Why are they waiting here to invade Maui? Partly to take revenge on another recent raid that King Kekauliki on Maui did. He ravaged this part of the island when the royal court was in Ka'u. And while the royal court was in Ka'u, he took that opportunity to attack this island from Kohala all the way down to Kona and ravaged the area, and then went back to Maui. And so now it's payback time. And Alapainui is gathered here with his forces, and part of his forces includes High Chief Keoua and Chiefess Kekuapuiwa. They are gathered here, probably worshiping at the Mokini Heiau. His headquarters is here, and his army stretches all the way down to Lapakahi, where we at. The canoes and his warriors are waiting for the oceans to subside, waiting for the right signals to invade Maui. And while they are here, encamped here, Kamehameha is born. Now, if you believe that his father was Kahekili from Maui, then the version goes like this. His mother is on Maui, she's pregnant, she's ready to give birth, and because Kahekili is considered to be the biological father, she's with the royal court in Maui. But then the word gets to her that her life is being threatened, and there's word about killing her and her baby. So her friends tell her, better go back to Kohala. Okay? So she gets into a canoe. She sends word to her trusted servant that she selects to be the kahu for her child. And that high chief of Kohala is Chief Naiole. And there's a fleet of canoes, maybe 4 or 5 canoes accompanying her as she flees from Maui to her homeland here in Kohala. But as they're coming across the channel, and maybe it wasn't as calm as it is today, it's choppy, it's rocky, it's rocking and rolling in a canoe. And here comes Kamehameha. That is where you get the version, Kamehameha was born in a canoe. And there are many, many kupuna who believe that. Kamehameha was born in a canoe. And if you take that story, then she has to land here because she cannot take that canoe to Halava. Her destination is Halava, where she's born, where she wanted to give birth. But because Kamehameha is already coming out, they have to come to the nearest point of land, and that nearest point of land is right here. Oh, I should say, right there. And where they landed canoes is Kapa'akai. And along this whole coast, as we drove in, you can see that there's no sandy beaches. There's no place where you can conveniently land a canoe on a sandy beach. But there is a little spur there of coral and a little bit of sand, and you're capable. So the canoe lands there. Baby is born. They do not remove the placenta. The umbilical cord is still attached, and they bring the mother and baby right up to the shore, to this site. And in a minute, we'll go down to the birth stones and tell you how those stones were used in the birthing process. So I mentioned two versions. One, if Keua is the father, he's born here because his mother is here with Alapai Nui and all of his armies waiting to invade Maui. If you believe Kahikili is his father and his mother is here because as she's trying to get back to Halava or crossing the Alanuihaha Channel, the baby is born in a canoe. So they have to land, and the nearest point of land is here. Okay. So, in either case, High Chief Naiole has been selected as his kahu. And when word gets to him that the birthing is taking place, he confirms his plan to save Kamehameha, and where he's going to take him is Avini, about 20 miles in the west here. But let's go down to the birth site and say a few words about the use of those stones in the birthing process. Come.